We got turtlenecks and all sorts for this podcast here. Welcome to the Honor Level Podcast, episode 26. We are here rounding up 2019, and this is a pretty generic video. I mean, you're gonna see most content creators do this. I'm sure you're seeing plenty of videos on such and suches of the decade, whether that be music or gaming or movies or just YouTube shit in general, you know. Bunch of content around this time, not just YouTube, even just all social media platforms. The internet is rounding up the last decade or so and rounding up this last year. You know, plenty of people like to do their reviews of the year and their lists and everything, which we've already done. So if this is not a video rounding up music necessarily, this is quite a selfish one. This is going to be about me. This is going to be about what we have achieved this year. So if you want to see like a list video, I'll try and remember to link that down in the description below. I'm terrible for actually linking things, but yeah, so we'll go check that out if you want to see something music related. But this is going to be quite selfish. In this podcast episode, we're just going to be comparing some statistics from 2018 to 2019, looking at our growth and a few statistics. If you're like me, I enjoy numbers. I don't know about you, man, but I enjoy a good set of statistics. So we're gonna go over a few of them. Some of them are actually insane. Like, I just checked it like an hour before pressing the record button just here, and yeah, I was really surprised by a few of them statistics. Some, like, yeah, we'll get into that. And then I just want to talk about what my plans are for this year and what new content's going to be coming. I've also got an announcement to make at some point in this podcast. That's my really cheeky way of saying you have to listen to the whole thing. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on the announcement. So, yeah. If you want to stick around, feel free to do that. Or just go down in the description. That I always say this down in the comment section, and I'm sure somebody will spoil it for you if this podcast has been out a couple hours. But yeah, this will be going up on New Year's Eve. I'm currently recording this on the 30th of December, and yeah, this year's been a bit crazy, and I've said that plenty of times, but it genuinely has, and we'll be going over that in a moment. As I just look at this notepad here, it's just insane. Just looking over some of the things that we're going to go over here. So, yeah, I mean, I couldn't find a video talking about what my goals were last year. Like, I remember I thought every year I've made a video, and I thought last year it would have been a podcast episode talking about what my goals are for the following year, but I didn't seem to find it. I don't know, maybe I'm just missing it completely, but didn't find anything. And I know that I had a notepad with like a bunch of shit written down, but I couldn't find that either. So I can't compare and see if I achieved my goals, but I'm sure I didn't set a numbers thing. I've stopped doing that. I've stopped doing the whole, well, by the time we get to the 31st of December in 2020 or 2021 and so forth going forward, I don't like doing the whole let's reach this certain number. I don't feel like I'm looking for numbers anymore. Like, I was doing that up until about 1,000 subscribers, and then since I've got to past 1,000, I've just not bothered. Like, I'm just happy with the numbers that I'm at. If I was on a flat line of where I'm at now, without declining, I'd be more than happy. Like, I'd be more than happy at the level I'm at. So numbers isn't necessarily a thing that I'm going to be always chasing after. Of course, milestones are nice to have. Like, don't get me wrong. If I had 1 million subscribers, it kind of would be nice, wouldn't it? But in terms of an exposure thing and in terms of the engagement, I'm more than happy. That was the biggest thing when I started out YouTube. That was the one thing why I wanted to grow. It wasn't because of the views that I got, and it wasn't necessarily because of the subscribers I got, but I knew with subscribers, hand in hand would come more comments. It's just comments. I don't know, it's just mad to see a whole comment section on my video. Like, that's genuinely mad in my head still. Like, I go on some videos and there's literally like 500 comments on a video, and it's like, where the fuck did you lot come from? Like, it's insane in that regard. Yeah, so this year, what did we achieve in terms of YouTube? Well, we put out the Visionary album. I would like to say that was a success. Not because of numbers, not because of charting or sales or anything like that. Like, I'm still at a massive financial loss from that album, but for the most part, it had extremely positive reviews. You know, people really enjoyed it. Some enjoyed the whole thing and they're just like, Chaz, everything you make is amazing. And I'm just like, thanks for the support. Then you get some of the heads that are like, look, didn't enjoy this and this because it's not my kind of song, but I love this, this, and this. Or you get some people that are like, I don't think that song was up to standard, bro, but you know what? The rest of the album's sick. Like, I'm fine by that. Like, that's fine by me. And so, just seeing the difference between Visionary and the Second Testimonial. The Second Testimonial is my first project. I don't class it as an album. It's too long to be an EP, and it was too original to be a mixtape. So it's just a project. But comparing the Second Testimonial that I released in 2018 compared to Visionary that come out in 2019, yeah, big difference. Big difference in quality, I would like to say. I would like to say it was the step of me really creating good music. Not to say that there were songs on the Second Testimonial that weren't good, but you can hear the difference. And I'm sure that the next project that I work on, whether that be in 2020, spoiler alert, it's probably not, but you never know with me. Let's say 2020 or 2021, 2022, the hell, 2029 for all I care. Whenever my next album is, you'll probably see a difference between Visionary as well. And that's all I want to do, is just continue growing as an artist, you know. But we released the album this year. And we'll talk about some of the numbers on that in a moment. But yeah, really, really happy with that. So thank you for all the support on that. Started earning monetization. Started earning ad revenue from YouTube. Not that it's much, but you know, it's the milestone of at least I can say I'm earning something. Again, it's not a lot, people, I'll be perfectly honest with you. But you know, it's there. It's nice to know that at least as I grow, that will start to grow, or should do, hand in hand. You gotta understand, a lot of my videos get demonetized. So despite there being adverts on every video of mine, or pretty much most, yeah, half of those videos to about 2/3 don't go in my back pocket. Most of those get claimed by the artist, which is fine. I always say that, as long as the video stays up worldwide and it's not blocked from being viewed, because sometimes it gets blocked on different platforms. I think it gets blocked on platforms where they don't run ads, which I believe is tablets, maybe, I don't know, or TV. Maybe, I don't know, but it gets blocked on some platforms. Sometimes it just gets blocked in every country bar Germany. Germany just seems to get away with it sometimes. And so yeah, so as long as the video is able to be viewed worldwide, I'm more than happy. So yeah, but we've started earning AdSense. Huge amount of growth, of course, just a disgusting amount of growth on this channel, and it's been steady growth. You know, of course at some points it's peaked a little bit more than others. Like at the moment, this month of December's been a fairly quiet month compared to like November was insane. This month has been a little bit more quiet, but you know, there's still growth, and that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like on a quiet month, I'm still growing as a YouTuber. That's nuts. That's nuts. Like, and so I can't take that for granted in any way, shape, or form. You know. And the last one that I just highlighted was, you know, great podcast guests and kicking forward with that podcast. I mean, the podcast doesn't always get the most amount of views, but it's one of my favorite things to do. It genuinely is one of my favorite things to do, just to be able to sit down and talk with these artists. Obviously, I talk with artists and people behind the scene, whether it be videographers or producers or management. I speak with people fairly often. But to be able to do it in a public eye and share some of those conversations is a great thing to do. So, you know, I'm really proud of what we're turning the podcast into, and it's still not where I want it to be. I still think that the podcast can get way better. On a quality spectrum, on a professionalism side of things, I need to improve as an interviewer. I get comments saying like, you ask great questions, Chaz, and I always appreciate that, but I feel like I can do a better job. I don't know, like, I have people come on the podcast and they're like nervous. They're like, oh shit, I'm speaking to Chaz. And I'm like, I'm nervous speaking to you, man. Like sometimes, like that's genuinely the truth. Like obviously to the ones who I talk with a fair amount beforehand, not so much, you know, you get a bit comfortable. But some people, it's like, admittedly, there was one podcast guest that I only hit up just for the podcast. Like I wanted to talk with them anyway, but we didn't talk much. They were like, I'm real busy, but yeah, don't worry, I'll be there. And then that was our first ever conversation, was on the podcast. And, you know, I really enjoyed it. You know, I feel like they give a lot of insight, and it was just a really good conversation to have. But I've been happy with the guests we've been able to get. I don't always necessarily go for the biggest people in the scene. Like, I'd say, who should I get on the podcast? Like, I might ask that on Instagram or something. And, you know, people will be like, 1-4. And I'm like, I don't think I'm in the realm to be interviewing 1-4 yet, or just talking. I don't want to see it as an interview. I say it often. The podcast is not an interview platform. Yes, I ask questions, and of course, it's in an interview style in terms of they dominate the conversation. I talk, they answer, you know. But also, I want it to be more of a natural conversation. For sure. The cat, now's not the time, big man. It's not the time to do it. All right, the cat's gonna be in the back doing his thing. All right, man's gonna disappear under the bed. So yeah, let's compare some statistics, some of the statistics from 2018. 2018 was a big year for me because, you know, it kick-started really the YouTube career. Don't get me wrong, I've been doing YouTube since early 2015, but it's when it really got going, you know. And in the year of 2018, we finished on the 31st of December with 5.9 thousand subscribers, just shy of 6,000. And we end the year of 2019 at just shy of 23,000. So that is a reasonable amount of growth. Like, man went from 6k to 23k, just shy of both. And yeah, that's a healthy amount of growth. I'm happy with that. It's predicted, if you go on a website called Social Blade, it predicts me to get to about 25, wait, no, not 25, about 50,000 by 2020, I believe, or by 2021, should you say. So this time, in 1 year's time, in the end of 2020, I should be around 45 to 50k ish, kind of, sort of, we'll see. But you know, if I was to only get to 30, let's say, I'd be more than happy. With where I'm at now, it's insane. So yeah, that I'm more than happy with the situation I'm in now. Views. The year of 2018, I managed to get 811,000 views. 811,000 plus the few hundreds, but we won't count that. 811,000. And then in the year of 2019, we got over 3 million views. Like, what a bumper. Man went from 6 digits to 7 digits by a pretty substantial amount, you know. We well over tripled. We nearly quadrupled. Wait, if I was to quadruple, yeah, nearly quadrupled with our views. But we definitely over tripled, so that was insane. The watch time is the biggest one that gets me now. So watch time being how many minutes your videos are watched for. So this video will be, let's say, anywhere between half an hour to 45 minutes, most likely. If you watch the whole thing, let's say the video is 37 minutes long. I don't know at the time of recording this right now. Let's say it's 37 minutes long. If you watch the whole thing, that counts as 37 minutes towards my watch time. If it gets 100 views and all 100 people watch 37 minutes, 100 times 37. Get it? That's how it works. So in the year 2018, we had 3,577,000 minutes of watch time. So 3,500 minutes of watch time. Okay, 3,500 minutes was spent watching my videos. In 2019, we're not going into the tens of thousands. We're not going into the hundreds of thousands. We're not even going into the ones of millions. We're going into 11.3 million minutes of watch time. So 3,500 minutes to 11.3 million. Like, what the bamba? What do you mean? Like, that's an insane amount of watch time. 11.3 million minutes of my videos was spent being watched or listened to, because obviously my music counts under that. That's just nuts, man. Like, yeah, man, that's just nuts. Likes. 2018, we got 21,000 likes over the course of my videos. At the moment in 2019, disregarding this video as well, we are at basically 80,000 likes. So we quadrupled in the amount of likes we get across our videos. My most viewed video in 2018 was the underrated track with Chilling It on Wombat. That was the video that blew up, should you say. That was the video that, you know, kick-started the huge amount of growth, and I'm sure it would have happened sooner rather than later, but that was the one where it kicked off, and that was mainly down to Wombat and Chillin' It both sharing my reaction on that song, you know. And so yeah, I always thank them for that. I'll always thank them for that and be appreciative, because it did kickstart, you know, a big moment in my YouTube career, the biggest moment effectively. And that got 27,000 views in the year of 2018. It might be on more by now, but in the year 2018. Wait, I didn't actually check that, actually. I don't know if it's on 27,000 now, or if it got 27,000 in... I think it got 27,000 in 2018, but I could be wrong within saying that. But regardless, most popular video this year, which I mentioned on social media only a couple weeks ago because it passed 100k. It's currently just shy of 110k. By the time this video goes up, it should be on 110,000. But that was a Spot the Difference reaction to 1/4 Spot the Difference. Yeah, that video blew up big. And obviously there's plenty of other YouTubers and reaction channels that have reacted to that track and have way more views, but that was the one that just spiked for me, you know. And so yeah, 110, yeah. KA Black Grape, you don't have that drink in Australia, banging drink. If you come over, buy yourself a KA. So yeah, obviously I don't talk about views for too long. The only reason I mentioned it because it was a milestone, first video to get into the 6-digit figures. So, you know, huge achievement, I guess. Most viewed song, this was an interesting one. My most viewed song in 2018 was Paths off of the Second Testimonial, which was probably one of my favorite songs, probably my top 2 favorite songs from that project, and that got 2,500 views, or 2,400 views. In 2019, my most streamed song, I'll put it as, because my most viewed is the fucking old freestyle at 30k, but over, if we count it from YouTube and streaming services, Tom and Jerry, which makes sense because it was the first single I rolled out for the album. Obviously, it features Spyro. People love it when I work with Spyro. And so that, yeah, that's got about 27.6 thousand on YouTube, plus an extra 7.5 on Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes as well. So with all of that put together, it's on about 35k all combined together. So I know the fucking old freestyle is more of a popular one on YouTube by a few thousand, but overall 35,000 on Tom and Jerry. And compared to most of the artists I react to and listen to and talk with, that's not a lot. But for me, that is a big, massive improvement. And most importantly, despite them being 2 very different songs, Tom and Jerry is a more polished and well put together song than Paths is. Not to take away anything from Paths, that's his own song, talking about its own thing, but Tom and Jerry, let's compare it to, say, Only the Rated, which was a song that I did with Spyro or Trap. Again, love those tracks, but Tom and Jerry was much more of a clean song. Love Tom and Jerry. Can't wait to perform that in front of an Aussie crowd and just have a whole crowd of people just being like, I never bust a gun. There's no firearm that I bought. Like, that's just, yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to. So you can see, based on those statistics, which ones excite me the most. Of course, it's nice to do statistics. I didn't mean for any of that as well to come across as big-headed or me bragging like, oh, look how successful I'm doing. It's just like, no, I just like statistics. And so if you're a statistics person, I hope you enjoyed. If I remember to, I'll try and do a few overlays maybe, but we'll see. So maybe, yeah, you know what I'll do? I'll put a little comparison now if I remember to at 18 minutes 40. Let's write that on it. See, sticky notes, people. Boom, sticky notes at about 18 minutes 40. I need an overlay. Also, while I'm being super unprofessional, I am going to check my phone here and there because I have an important message I need to reply to ASAP. So keep that in mind. Moving forward, yeah, growing the channel and the vision of what I want happening as we go forward. So I'm going to mention it here. I'm going to have this statement very well documented. By 2023, I will no longer be doing reaction videos. Now, that might be January 1st, 2023. I'm stopped. It might be by December 31st, 2023. In the year of 2023, I will not be doing reactions. Why have I made this decision? I made this decision back in 2018. I made this decision because I do not want to be known as a reaction channel. which is a huge contradict on what I'm doing right now. I am known as a reaction channel. I am known as a reactor. There's a reason why I call myself an artist and YouTuber or content creator rather than, well, yeah, a reactor or a reaction channel. Nothing wrong with reacting, by the way. Let me get this clear. Nothing wrong with reacting. It's just I want to become more involved in the scene than just me sitting in my bedroom pulling my trademark face. So again, there's nothing wrong with reacting. It's just I would like to be more involved than just reactions, you know, and that's why I do EP and album reviews. It's why I do the podcast. It's why I haven't done in a while, but I will get back to it. Artist breakdowns, we're going to talk about that in a bit. I was doing the underrated showcase, also something that I'm going to talk about. You know, I would like to say I'm doing more than just reactions, plus doing music, plus helping some people behind the scene that you don't necessarily see on camera. Same way there's other people who help me. I probably get a lot more help from other people than I give. I feel like I'm not giving enough, and you know, so that's something I'm definitely going to work on, is just more giving, you know. The scene, the fans, the viewers who are watching this right now, the artists, the producers, videographers, management, just promoters, just a bag of people that are here to help me. And it's just, I just want to try to give back as much as possible, because at the end of the day, we're on track for me doing this full time. And if that's made possible, obviously that's something that relies on you guys to support that, you know. So I'm always trying to give back, and I need to do a better job of doing that. I feel like I should be able to do more, and how I do that I need to figure out, but I'll figure out a way to do it. Obviously it's difficult to do when you work a full-time job as a teacher, because, well, teaching is kind of time consuming, people, just so you know. And so, you know, doing that, and it's a hard-working job, and then to come back and then try and do this full-time, it's like 2 full-time jobs plus balanced life. It seems legit. So yeah, we're gonna try and keep on top of things. We're gonna try and keep pushing forward. But let's talk about each part of what I do. I kind of got 5 points I want to touch on, and we've already talked about reactions. But yeah, reactions this year I want to continue. For now I want to continue. I want to continue doing the breakdowns on them. I just want to improve maybe the quality on a couple of things, maybe by adding transitions, or I don't know. I was thinking about doing a soundboard with different sound effects, but I don't know how I want to go about that, because I don't want to become a Charlie Slough and for it to become overused and annoying, but I feel like it could give a lot of personality. So I'm a little bit indifferent. Let me know what you think about me using a soundboard and a few sound effects. Starting off with like just a couple and then building it up. And then when we feel like it's too much, cutting back maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Or even if it was just for the podcast. I don't know. I'm kind of spitballing ideas, but that is something I have been thinking of, is a soundboard. So let me know what you think of that idea. Album and EP reviews, I want to keep going. Probably not reaction reviews. That's what I started off doing, was reaction reviews. But admittedly, sometimes I don't have enough time. Like, sometimes I'm listening to an album on my way back home, or I'm traveling, or I'm trying to do other things. And sometimes for me to really take in music in longer forms, I don't want to have to worry about what I'm saying next. Sometimes I kind of just want to stare at the wall and zone out as I'm listening to it. And so I think I do a better job of making more relevant points if I'm just doing it as a review. So yeah, there'll be album and EP reviews, maybe not reaction reviews though. But we'll see. No promises on that going forward. The On a Level podcast, obviously, I want to continue that. I want to continue having guests on. I want it to be more focused as a conversation rather than me just interviewing someone. Not to say that my podcast can't be used as a promo run. If an artist is about to release an album, of course, you're more than welcome to come on the podcast and promote that. If somebody wants to promote their new brand, whether it be a freestyle series or a clothing line or a new record label, you know what I mean, I'm happy for people to come on and promote things. Just come along, have a chat. That's what I'm looking to do with the podcast. and just try up the quality, because I know it looks quite, somebody pointed this out and it is a very relevant point, and I agree with you. It is unprofessional for me to be doing professional interviews and conversations with professional people in the scene when it's like my bedroom in the back, you know what I mean? Like, it is unprofessional. My dream is to have an office away from home, so something I have to drive to or travel to, and have my own office space where I still make all my videos, I still do everything I do, but away from home. That would be the dream scenario, and have a small team that help me run that as like a mini business almost. That would be the dream. But yeah, we're a bit away from that. I don't think I'm earning enough to be hiring out office spaces and starting and market and brand myself as a business. I don't think we're at that point yet. We're still stuck in the room, and I guess that's just where I got big ambitions and I've not got enough resources to do that yet, but we'll get there one day, hopefully so. And if not, look, at the end of the day, there's only a handful of people doing podcasts and interviews, so I'm trying to be one of the most consistent platforms to do it. And so, do I get the effort medal? do I get a gold star for trying? I hope I do. The underrated showcase. Now I'm stuck with this. I get tons and tons of people every single day in comment sections, even email and Instagram DMs especially, saying check out my boy or check out my work, I'm a new and upcoming artist, my boy's from so and so in the so and so area and he's coming up, watch, he's gonna be the biggest in the scene. And I hear it a lot. Now there's gonna be people in that list that probably are gonna be massive. There was probably someone who messaged me about Young and Lips, like, my boy's gonna be breaking onto the scene, watch what he does. And I've just like, yeah, I'll check it later. And then next thing you know, bang, you know. So I'm sure there's plenty of people like that, but I also check out plenty of shit, like plenty of shit. There's some people that are decent, and I typically normally give feedback as well. But yeah, I wait for a lot of shit as well, and it's very taxing and time consuming, and it is partly the reason why I don't answer as many DMs as I used to. I used to keep on top of every single DM. Now it's just always at 99 plus message requests, and it's overwhelming to look at. It just is. It's very taxing to go over all of these DMs and answer everything, especially when people are like, just react to this, and it's like the same two generic replies. It's either yes, I'm going to, or I have done and it will be up later, or it's a yeah, I'll keep it in mind, I'll note it down. But then I look at my notepad and I've got like 15 different songs and I don't remember who DM'd me about which one, and it's just like, it just becomes a shit show. It just does. So yeah, underrated showcase. I might do it as see, I keep saying live streams, and I do live streams and I'm like, oh, why am I doing live streams? But we'll see. I want to do it as either an hour episode where we do them in bulk, where I just check out these artists all at once, I give my feedback and they get their little shout out, I guess. I could do it as a Patreon thing. Now, I did have a Patreon before. Patreon is, for those who don't know, is a site where you donate money as much as you would like per month. So it could be $1, it could be $5, it could be $25 a month to me, and then you're meant to get benefits and rewards with that. So if you donate $1 per month, you get a shout out in my video. If you donate $5, you get a shout out in the video, and you get to hear exclusive music from me before it releases. If you donate $25, I will have a Skype conversation and you'll get a certain mention, and you know that you kind of get the idea. I'm sure you can check out most big content creators on YouTube probably have a Patreon, and it's just a more reliable way of earning income, because obviously YouTube monetization is up and down, obviously getting demonetized and copyrighted. So people have Patreons to just cover themselves safe, so that if YouTube crashed tomorrow, they're not gonna crash and burn and have no income, basically. And I had Patreon before and I let it slack. Admittedly, that is a very good point. I need to check that out. I need to cancel my Patreon, or I need to cancel it, because obviously I hope there's people not paying into it, because I've not kept my word on the benefits. So I hope that everyone's cancelled theirs, and if not, I might have to refund some people. Don't take my word for that. I need to check that out. But I was half considering getting back into Patreon and really sticking to my word, because I have to apologize for that. I said that I would keep up with things and I just didn't, admittedly. That was mainly due to, because that fell hand in hand with live streams, and then live streams stopped, and yeah, just things got overwhelming. But I'm considering doing Patreon and then doing it through that. So if you are a Patreon, if you pay a small fee every month, I can check out your boy's work and because then I can set time aside. That'll be because I can then cut back on a couple of my work hours and have more time freed up to be like, right, on Saturday morning, I am going to sit down for 4 or 5 hours and just go through and do this. So I don't know how I want to go about it, really. And again, I'm spitballing a lot of my ideas. I'm having an open meeting with you guys that are listening right now. For the couple hundred people that will actually be listening at this point, you're getting an inside view of how I have a management team meeting with myself, because I don't have management. This is all off of my own back. Everything is off my own back, from visuals to production to research. Just everything is all off of my own back. So I'm trying to keep up with everything. So maybe Patreon will be a good idea, but I don't know. I don't want to do it and then let you guys down again. That would be very unfair of me. It's already been unfair that I've let you down in the first place. So let me know what you think about that as well. Would you consider donating to Patreon? Is that a good idea? Or do I just sound like a money grabbing little shit right now that is just... I promise I'm not, but am I coming across like that? Let me know. And artist breakdowns, I did a few last year, especially at the start of the year. And then I had a list of people. I even did the research and kind of broke down other artists, and I had it in my notes, and I was like, I'll do this when they release an album or an EP, and then they didn't. I was like, feck. So I'm like, I want to counteract. I want to do it at the time of them releasing something. One, because let's be honest, it does get more views, and it's two, more relevant to the artist at that time. If I did an artist breakdown on Alex Jones right now, people would watch it. No disputing that. But if I did it when he dropped an album, or if he dropped a new single, there would be people going from that straight to the video. So it gives back to me more, because it does get more views in. It does. But it also gives back to the artist more, because it's very relevant. More people, more fans of that artist are going to watch, and then hopefully appreciate them more at the right time. And it'll be more relevant to what they've done, because they've just dropped a new project or new song, and then it's more relevant as well, more accurate information. And so yeah, I need to do those, but I did a lot of waiting. I need to just do more doing, and if it comes out too soon, so be it. Who cares? But yeah, so artist breakdowns I'm gonna do every month or two. I'll pepper them in here or there. And I want to do more discussion type videos as well, but that's a difficult one because of the podcast that delves into the same realm. But then it's short form versus long form, but then covering the same. Again, this is how my ideas go. I'm brainstorming live on a camera right now. It's mad. It's mad when you pre the whole realm of YouTube. A man is talking to himself in his room. I'm then gonna upload that for all these digital pixels and numbers, and then somebody on the opposite side of the world is now consuming this. That's a bit mad. Right, I'm sounding like a stoner now. Let's keep it moving. What I want more of. So that I went over the things that I have been doing. What I want more of is I want more accurate videos with more reliable information. I've slacked a little bit on that. I get things wrong. Yes, I'm unapologetic about most of it, but it would be nice for me to be more accurate and reliable with my information, of course. So I'm going to try and get better at doing that. I'm consistently trying to become more professional, of course, with the quality of the videos. You know, I talked about this before, but I watch a lot of people who do reactions, especially people who react to Australian artists. And the quality of their videos is a huge letdown. They are actually entertaining, or sometimes they have something relevant, but the audio is terrible, or the visuals are off. Now, I have videos that have bad audio. Touch wood, the audio on this podcast right now is okay. I understand that technology is just a bitch. It just is. And not everyone has enough money to dump into a setup like I have. I have an overkill setup. My setup is a gaming setup. I had this all set to do live streaming on Twitch because I thought that's what I was going to go into full time before this all blew up. And then this just took over all of my time. So I have a very overkill setup, especially for reactions. But I'm constantly trying to improve the quality. Of course, I am in my bedroom, and I know that takes away from the professionalism, but to make up for that, let's try and make these videos as clean as possible. That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, constantly trying to improve the quality of the videos, and I want to collab with more artists, whether that be through music or whether that be doing the podcast, or you know, I want to make videos like how to improve your flow, and then I make 4 relevant points, and then I get an artist to come on and describe how they do it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to get artists involved in my content a little bit more. That would be a nice idea, but that's a very ambitious one because it's difficult enough to get a reply from certain people, let alone make a track with them, let alone for them to start creating points that are breakdowns, and yeah, insane. So yeah, that does transition me nicely into music though. I'm not looking to do an album. My next album, not mixtape, not EP, not to say that they can't happen, but my next album will be self-produced, or at least partly self-produced. Until I learn those skills, I don't want to make another album. 1, for copyright reasons, and 2, because I just feel like it would be a lot more personal. I feel like it would really feel like a proper album then. It would be an album not from an MC, but from an artist. And I've always said that the difference between an MC and an artist is able to create everything themselves from scratch. Hence why, in my opinion, Chillin' It is an MC, but Nerve is an artist. And I can respect them both in their own lanes for their own reasons, but I am as much as I would love to be an artist, I am an MC. I cannot produce. That is one element that I lack myself, and that's the difference. Or at least having the ability to have enough input on the people who produce. Now, obviously, I just get YouTube beats, so I'm not even in studio. But let's say when I come to Australia, if I'm working with, let's say, Open Till Late, if I ever got the luxury of doing so, you know, being in studio with my man, if I was there at least giving input and help him, that I would consider that as being part of an artist. If not just doing it completely yourself. So yeah, for now, this year, I want to start off the year at least with just singles and features. And I've got a couple features lined up coming out on other people's projects or just songs to be coming out. As for mine, I'm waiting. I've been saying this a lot. Certain artists are just acting long. Love them to bits, respect them massively, but they're acting long right now. I work very quick. That's just like, I did a feature verse for somebody recently, and they hit me up, I think it was Sunday night, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll have my verse sent to you by Wednesday night, Thursday morning. They were like, what? It's like, yeah. They were like, are you using a throwaway verse? I'm like, no, I'm writing this from scratch. Like, I've written my verse. They're like, what? I only DM'd you about this 15 minutes ago. I was like, yeah, I need to work out a few more things, but I've got my verse written. They're like, what? And then I spent the Monday refining it. Tuesday and Wednesday morning was just learning it, and then went studio, recorded it, had it sent by that night. Like, that is how fast I can work. Sometimes I can't. I get writer's block, as many people do, but I normally work very, very quickly. So maybe that's just what it is. Maybe I'm like asking too much when I say I need 2 months to receive a verse. I don't know. Maybe I'm just asking too much of people, but yeah. Being patient and working with people in this industry, you know, I love some of these people, and so many people have massively helped me, and it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to work with some people. But it would be nice if people were on time. But I can't bitch because at the end of the day, 95% of them are more successful than me, from a numbers perspective at least, or they just are. So I've got to learn to be patient as well. But you know, I've got an announcement to make, and I've talked about it. It is not official, but this is, again, if we're having an open team meeting, I am looking to come to Australia in late July, early August, and I'll be coming down for about a month or so. And I'll be traveling around. This is not confirmed, I should be in at least Perth, Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney. Other places we will see, but they are the 4 cities I need to visit at least. But it depends. I have not booked anything yet. I am just talking with people right now and organizing things, but it's also quite a far way out to be organizing certain things that I plan to do, whether that be performing or touring or working with certain people and certain brands. So it's very far out, but for anyone who's here, just know that I'll be coming about late July, early August. So make sure you have space, because you never know. I could be lost in the wilderness, and I need somebody to help me out. Don't book your holidays. Come see me. No, I'm only messing. But yeah, just keep that in mind. That'll be English summer, Australian winter, which is basically the English summer. So yeah, that's when I'm looking to come over to Oz as well. So I just wanted to mention that in this video. I didn't want to reveal that, but I wanted to mention that in this video so that when I listen back to this podcast in a year's time, the end of 2020, when I'm probably doing something similar to this, I'm able to reflect back and look back at that trip, you know, because I will be coming to Australia. Like, it will happen. There's no stopping me. Unless I die, I will be in Australia. If not both, I might be in Australia and die there. You never know. But hell, it is what it is. And yeah, I just can't wait for it to happen, man. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up this podcast as we turn to the 40-minute mark. Yeah, that's kind of my aims for this year. That was comparing some things from last year. Just a bit of a boring podcast, but some people might be interested in this shit. This is more so for me. This is a selfish podcast. This is less so me giving to people, and this is more just for future reference for myself. But I might as well put it out there rather than leaving it on my hard drive. I might as well put it out to the world so that you can view how my mind thinks and how quickly my mind spitballs ideas. I'm really looking forward to this year. I'm really, you know, I could be very generic and say, watch this space, big things coming, but I'd rather just show that. It's going to be very much of the same. Nothing much crazy is going to change on the 1st of January. Maybe you'll see some new things pop up where it's that little bit of New Year motivation, but ultimately it's going to continue as it has been. And we're just going to keep kicking on with content and continue to stay as Australia's biggest reaction content hub of channels of things and stuff. We're going to try to stay top of the game. And if somebody overtakes me, I hope they overtake me for the right reasons, and I hope they do it because of genuine good content. But yeah, I think that's everything. I wanted to say. So yeah, the 2 questions I posed to you, man, was a soundboard. Would that be a good idea? And Patreon. Would you be interested in doing that? If I was to stick to my word 100%. If I was to set up a Patreon, what little benefits would you like to see? So if you was to donate $5 a month, what would you expect me to give back if you was donating $5 to me every month? Just let me know. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section below, guys. Thank you so much on the support this year. I say it all the time, like, there's no exception here. Thank you. Like, genuinely, the whole generic speech of life-changing. I'll save that full speech for another time. But yeah, just know that I do thank you for everything that you guys have done for me, and we'll hope to just continue good content this year. So yeah, thank you, man, for watching. Appreciate you supporting the podcast as always. And yeah, talk to you, man, later.